right. How's everybody doing here? Wow, hello, Void Dweller, Mystery Theater, Chan, Zarmegas, and Owe. Welcome to 428 Shibuya Scramble. Last time, we had a really annoying jump, but you know what? We had that really cool conversation between Achi and his father and everything, and we have the CIA agent like on our side. Everyone's together going to the lab to try to get the freaking vaccine. Oh my god, but we still don't know how Minorikawa is going to get cut up into this, because right now he's all just, he's kind of on his own still, working on his own shit. Although he's slowly discovering more about the virus. Like that being a big story. Oh, hello, Donnie. Welcome to the stream. Looks like he's grayed out for a second there. Everyone's grayed out for some reason. Fucking jumps. Don't even get me started on jumps. Okay. No, so that was end. End. Oh, yeah. Achi and Kano are kind of doing shit on their own. Like they're gonna converge. We know that. So what I'm gonna do first is go back to Minorikawa, and then Achi. All right, let's get back into it. I still can't believe this. Oh yeah, we have to get back. This stupid ass jump. That's right. We have to redo this part to be the real fucking answer. Okay, now we can, oh, it got back to a to be continued. It didn't save that, because we did that last time, I believe. Alright, so yeah, Achi. Jeez. I don't know why I didn't save that. It's kind of weird, so... Yep. So now, yes, let's go to Achi. I can't believe it didn't save that. This is where Kano had jumped right in. Standing in the doorway was a man Achi didn't recognize, his face pale. Stay back! Oh, that was Kanan. God damn it. Stay back. Kanan shouted at Achi when he tried to approach. It looked like Maria had fallen unconscious. Achi's heart was racing in his chest. An eerie silence fell over the room. For several seconds, no one said a word, their eyes all fixed on Maria. God damn it. You know, I said that name as Maria my entire life, up until Umineko, where I kept hearing the voices saying it as Maria, and now that's stuck in my fucking head. It's my sister's fucking middle name. One of her middle names. Seriously, you'd think I would know how to say it. But fucking Umineko. I'm sorry. Okay. Finally, Kanan looked up, her face ashen. It's starting. Ooh. What's starting? The virus? Is that what she's talking about? What the fuck? Oh my god, I definitely should have done this last time. Okay, we've had 2 false starts. 2. But by process of elimination, I'm pretty sure that we should be going here. Okay. Oh my god. Jeez. Okay. Now I guess I should call my father. Oh, that was Hitomi. Okay. Now I guess I should call my father. Hitomi called Kenji Osawa on his cell, asking him to let Maria and Kanan into the lab. Kano leaned in to whisper into Kanan's ear. Are you sure you're okay with this? With what? I know that you're after Alphard. Are you sure you want to go to the lab and not... Right now, I want to save my goddamn waifu. That's all. Her tone was as curt and mechanical as ever, but there was a fierce gleam of determination in her eyes. Maria was clearly someone very special to her. Yes!
All right.
Kano replied. Oh, Void Dweller. That's an angry video game nerd reference. And that is very near and dear to my heart. That was some of the first things I saw ever on YouTube. Thanks for that one.
Leave Alphard to me.
He thumped himself on the chest. He'd succeed this time, no matter what the odds. Kano could scarcely recall the whirlwind of events that had brought him here. He'd somehow survived a dozen disasters. Even now, a dear friend was in the hospital at risk of dying. There were times when he'd been ready to give up. And yet, at the end of it all, here he was. Are we going to get a the end for Kano? His opponent was an international terrorist. No matter how you looked at it, there wasn't a matchup for a mere detective.
But I'm going to do it anyway. Rumi, Shizuo, Sasayama, and Detective Tateno. I'm going to take down Alphard and save Maria Osawa's life. Just you watch and see.
Oh, it is a to be continued. Okay. Wow, I really should have done this last stream. I really should have done this last stream. I really fucking should have done this last stream. I am so sorry, you guys. I had no idea. I'm sorry, Suzume. The UA is out now. Oh crap, Mr. Nino, answer me. We meet at last. Alphard, I guess the final boss is here. You can go ahead and kill me. Damn, 2 hours. Whoa. Shibuya Scramble. Damn, that's a... Okay, let's see. That is a weighty title. Okay, no, and I assume nobody is blocked off? Oh, fuck berries. Who should I start with? Oh my god. Okay, I can't even... Okay, so I literally can't do Achi. Okay. So it's just between Minorikawa and Kano. Let's see. I'm guessing this is the finale, but I do know that there is quite a bit of post-game content somehow to this. I don't know what form it takes, but I do know that it exists. Okay, so, you know what? I'll put it to a vote. Minorikawa or Kano? Who should I start with here? I just, let's see. Because they're both pros and cons. Kano is clearly in charge of the main plot now. And he's gonna face off against Alphard while Minorikawa is doing whatever. I forget exactly, yeah. Kano, yeah, I think. Kano has the most continuity with what's going on. Okay, that's 3 Kanos. Yep, let's go. That's very, an ironic statement. Queen of democracy. Kano's cell phone rang. He saw Kuze's name on the display.
Kano speaking. What the hell are you doing? I'm solving the case.
The director's voice was shrill with irritation.
What's the situation with Maria Osawa? I have her in custody, sir. We need to get her into quarantine immediately. I'll send a counter-NBC terrorism unit to pick her up. Only ABC and Fox are allowed here.
A public safety mobile investigation unit belonging to the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department Public Security Bureau. The acronym MBC refers to nuclear, biological, and chemical threats. The unit not only gathers information and investigates terror incidents that make use of these means, but also deploys relief and safety restoration measures.
What's your location? Sir, the situation's a little complicated at the moment.
Kano replied. He and Stanley made eye contact. Kano gave him a knowing nod. He knew what he needed to do here. He briefly informed Kuze of the plan to take Maria to the laboratory, but was careful not to mention Alphard.
Please, sir,
Kano said, bowing reflexively to the phone.
Let me handle this. Absolutely not!
Kuze exclaimed.
There's no way I can allow that! Maria Osawa needs to go into quarantine right now!
Well, I'm pretty sure in this era of 2021, we all know what quarantine is. The act of placing infectees in isolation, such as in a medical treatment facility, in order to prevent the spread of infection for viruses capable of airborne transmission. An airborne infection isolation room, air, is sometimes used, which employs negative air pressure to ensure that air from within the room does not leak outside.
Sir, please just give us a little more time. Giving her the antiviral is the only way we can save her. If we put her in quarantine, it'll be a death sentence.
Kuze let out a growl of frustration.
Rah! Kano! This isn't your decision to make!
Kano had run out of arguments. It was clear that Kuze's only concern was stopping the spread of the virus.
Director Kuze, are you just going to let Maria Osawa die? We can't put the lives of everyone in Shibuya at risk in order to save a single person. I know that, sir. That's why I'm asking you to please let me go to the laboratory. And if it looks like we're not going to be able to hack the password, then at that point a quarantine can... Kano!
Kuze snapped.
I'm giving you an order! And I'm not accepting that order.
Whoa! Damn! Oh, wow. Well, he totally made up with his father-in-law for no reason, because looks like he's not going to be a detective anymore.
Listen,
Kuze said.
How many years have you been a cop? What do you mean by that, sir?
Oh boy. Kuze didn't reply.
Is this an order from up top? What's going on here, sir? Please, I need some kind of explanation. Stop it!
Kuze said.
You sound like a child! This is dereliction of duty! Call me a child if you want, but I'm not following an order that I know isn't right.
Wow. Oh my god, Kano is so badass right now. Kano punched the end call button with his thumb. From an objective standpoint, maybe Kuze was right. Yeah, objectively, yeah. They needed to think about more than just Maria. If the UA virus spread throughout Shibuya, it would be a nightmare of epic proportions. Kano understood that perfectly clearly.
But still,
He looked down at Maria's face as she lay collapsed on the floor. Ah, too much virus! This girl was still alive, and Kano couldn't stand idly by and let a living, breathing person die. Consequences be damned! He wasn't going to be the one to weigh the worth of someone's life. As he stood, still clutching his cell phone, Stanley gently set his hand on his shoulder.
you did fine.
He said quietly.
Alfard is in possession of the UA virus. People of Shibuya are already in danger. He may have already released the virus in the city. If he hasn't, he may do so at any time. Right now, what we need to do is get that antiviral, and I'll arrest Alfard. You made the right choice here, son. Thank you, Stanley. I appreciate hearing that.
Stanley gave Kano a slap on the back. Ah! That is so cool! I'm so glad they're friends. He was right. At this point, they need to focus on the things that they could still accomplish.
So, guys.
Oh, that's Achi.
So, guys.
Achi stepped forward.
Who's gonna take Atomi's sister and Kanan to the lab?
Maria was in no condition to walk, so they were gonna have to take a car. Which meant they needed a driver.
I only have a motorcycle license.
Achi said.
And I don't know where the lab is, anyhow.
I should go. I'm guessing Kanan is saying this. I should go with Maria alone. Yep. Kanan looked over at all the others. There's no way of knowing for sure when she might become contagious. We shouldn't needlessly risk exposing more people to infection. She knelt down to gather Maria in her arms. Someone else joining the party? Is it Minorikawa? I'm gonna guess that it's Minorikawa or Osawa.
In that case, I should drive.
Kano whirled around at the sound of a new voice behind him. It's gonna be one of the two. Oh, it's neither. Oh my god, it's Tateno. Whoa. Okay, wow. Damn. Jeez.
In that case, I should drive.
Tateno was standing in the doorway.
You!
Okay. They're gonna want us to jump to Achi.
You!
Achi's face went red with rage, and I'm gonna jump back to Achi because we haven't had Achi, because we know Achi has to be unlocked. So, yep, let's do it. I think he's pretty much out of the story right now, Void Dweller, until like the epilogue maybe.
You!
Achi snarled. In the doorway stood the man with the cane.
Detective Tateno? Tateno?
Oh, that was Kano and Daisuke. Spoke simultaneously. Now at last, Achi had a name for the assassin. It was a name he felt he'd heard somewhere before.
You son of a bitch!
Achi roared.
What the hell are you doing here?
Tateno bowed his head profusely.
I'm truly sorry. You're sorry? Sorry doesn't cut it, man. Not after what you were trying to do to Atomi! I don't expect you to forgive me. And I intend to turn myself in, to be punished for my crimes. But before I do that, please, let me do what I can to help you. Oh, I think you've helped enough.
Achi grabbed Tenno by the collar and drew back his fist. Kano moved to stop him, but Tenno held up a hand.
No. It's alright. Let him do as he pleases.
There was no trace of the menacing expression the man had worn in their previous encounters. Achi scowled but lowered his fist, then released his hold onto Tenno's collar.
Fine. Hitomi's sister needs help, so we do need a driver right now. Make sure those two get to the lab and back safely. That'll make up for that punch I didn't give you just now. Thank you. I am so sorry. You better be.
Daisuke stepped forward.
Nah. I'm the one who should be apologizing. I'm the one who got you caught up in this. Daisuke, we really didn't grow up to be very good people, did we? Nah. Guess not.
The two men stared bleakly at each other, shoulders slumped.
In the end, I guess we're just trying to run away from our pain. Yeah. Didn't expect my own son to be the one to teach me that. Achi's turned out to be a fine young man.
Damn it, I kind of gave them both the same voice, so... Daisuke is a bit more gravelly.
He is Katone's boy, after all. Guys!
Achi stepped into the middle of their solemn heart-to-heart.
You can get sappy all you want later. Dad, once this is all over, we're gonna see Suzune, okay? Sure.
Daisuke nodded heartily.
Hold on.
Kano spoke up, turning to Stanley.
If these two take Maria to the lab, that just leaves us two to apprehend Alphard down at the Scramble. Is that going to be enough? I mean, Alphard's not going to show up without a plan. The more people we have on our side, the better. Now, I doubt we'll be able to get any help from the police. Good point.
Stanley agreed.
Hey!
Achi said.
I'm here too, and I'm going with you.
Woo! Yeah, Achi, Kano, and Stanley. Dream team right here. But Kanan is the strongest. She should also fight.
I'll keep Otomi safe. Oh, look. Good news, Kano. Now we have 3 people.
Stanley let out a sardonic laugh. Kano frowned.
Achi, I appreciate the offer, but having 3 people instead of 2 won't make much of a difference.
Are you serious, man? Come on.
When you're not sure of the enemy's next exact plan, you will really need strength in numbers. If we could set up a dragnet like the task force did this morning, that would be ideal, but... Come on, detective,
Achi said.
Don't you have any idea what sort of approach this psycho might take? If I were Alphard,
Kano mused.
And I suppose my biggest problem would be figuring out how to get away after I'd taken Hitomi's blood.
It's gotta be that blimp. The final showdown has gotta be on that fucking blimp. Stanley nodded in agreement.
I bet he plans to involve the UA virus,
he said.
If, for instance, he tells us he set up a device somewhere to spread the virus throughout Shibuya, that prevents us from taking action against him.
Achi swallowed hard. This guy wanted to unleash a killer virus in Shibuya? If he succeeded, then the town Achi had known and loved all his life would become a graveyard.
Of course, that's mere conjecture,
Stanley murmured.
Quite frankly, even I can only guess what he's gonna do.
His expression was grim.
Strength in numbers, huh?
Achi said.
So you're saying we absolutely need more people? Is that it?
Oh, he's gonna get the gang back together. Oh my god.
Essentially, yes.
Stanley replied.
But not just anyone, man. If it's not a group that meshes well, it'll hinder more than help. I think I know just the guys.
Kano folded his arms across his chest. He looked perplexed. People
People who mesh well together, huh?
Achi had an idea. Gotta be the SOS Brigade. We're getting the band back together. Woo! He could ask SOS. If there was any one thing he could do, it was that. It was a selfish request. He knew that. Susumu would probably be furious with him, but Achi would just have to deal with it. Even if his old pals wouldn't forgive him, if they understood that you'd helping to protect Shibuya, he was sure they'd step up and take action. After all, the whole point of the gang was that it was made up of people who loved their town.
Can you give me a half hour? I'm gonna try to see if I can rustle up some old friends.
Kano straightened himself up.
You think you can do it?
Achi nodded assertively.
Who the hell do you think I am? Just wait here for me, okay?
He said to Hitomi. She gave him a worried smile. All right, I'll be waiting.
It'll be okay.
Achi did his best to sound reassuring.
I promise I'll bring back help.
Time to go to Royal Elastics. He knew where he had to go. The pool hall at Uraharajuku, that was his old gang's main hideout. I bet he's gonna have to fight, like, to convince them or something. Running at top speed, he could probably make it in about 10 minutes.
Alright!
Rushing out the door with a battle cry loud enough for Kano and the other to hear for backup inside the shop, Achi sped on his way. You wanna go back to Kano? Fucking hell. Fine. Wow, really? Oh, hello, Hollow Mirage. Welcome to the stream. Fucking hell. Why you gotta do this to me, game? Why you gotta do this to me, game? Traffic on Joganzaku was at a near standstill. Had there been some sort of major accident? As Achi ran along the roadside, he heard a middle-aged man screaming angrily. Wait, there's a lot of old dudes in this game. Damn it, which one is this? I know it's not the guy that Minorikawa worked for, and it's not the police chief. God damn it. Is this his father, Kano's father-in-law? I think it might be.
You've got to be kidding me. What do you mean no trains are stopping at Shibuya?
The guy was red in the face.
What the heck is going on?
Achi felt compelled to stop and check things out. I'm guessing this is probably the wrong choice, but I just want to see. Yep, it's him.
Calm down, Dad.
The young woman with the man must be his daughter then.
How am I supposed to do that? You heard what that boy said. We have to get out of Shibuya right away.
Yep, it's him. That is so cool, Hollow Mirage. Whoa! Achi got a look at the young woman's face. She was gorgeous. He had the feeling he'd seen her on TV before or something. She was probably an actress, but he couldn't recall her name. Ayakanigi.
Well,
Achi muttered to himself.
You might be pretty, but you're no Hitomi.
Oh my god, that is so sweet! Oh, Achi! He has eyes only for a trophy. Oh my god! Once more, he broke into a run. There's a whole bunch of people walking in the direction of Route 246. They want to go to Red Lobster. Oh god. Jeez. That was probably the wrong choice because that didn't affect anything, and it's probably going to make Achi a bit late and get a bad end, but okay. It looked like folks really couldn't use the trains right now. Was this some consequence of Maria being infected with the UA virus?
Then I better hurry. We're the only people who can fix this.
Yeah! With another cry to pump himself up, Achi bolted down the sidewalk, counted the throng. Finally, he arrived at the SOS hideout. Two young men were standing by the door's lookouts. Yep, something that happened here that we would have been able to interrupt if we got here earlier, probably. Achi recognized one of them. It was the kid whose so-called buddies had tried to shake him down earlier that afternoon. They roused themselves as Achi approached.
Hey, I need to see Susumu.
No can do. He's in the middle of something right now.
The lookouts made no move to let him through. Achi felt a surge of resentment towards Susumu. If he'd still been with SOS, he'd never try to post members on guard duty like there was low-ranking Yakuza thugs. Damn. Oh, jeez. I don't want to start a fight yet. Achi pressed again.
Please, I need to see him. It's important. Just tell him Achi's here. I'll make an exception.
At the mention of his name, the two lookouts exchanged glances.
All right, I'll go ask him.
Oh, cool. One of the lookouts headed inside, leaving Achi alone with the kid he'd helped out earlier.
Do they always stick you on guard duty?
The boy didn't reply.
Back when I ran with SOS, we never needed anyone on lookout. We're just a bunch of guys who left Shibuya. And who had a fun time hanging out with each other. That's all it was, really.
Okay, damn, what voice to give this rando? It's not Susumu's fault that SOS changed, the boy said, somewhat fearfully. Lately, it's Kiryu who's been driving things. Yep, Achi gotta beat a boss battle before he can do this.
Kiryu? Oh yeah, that guy.
Achi recalled his earlier run-in with him. The guy was an arrogant bully. Come on, Achi. You gotta be like the real Kiryu and show him who's boss. This is such a fucking Yakuza plot. Like, Achi left, and people didn't want him to leave, and a villain took Achi's place because no one could do it except Achi, and when Achi needs help with something else, he goes and beats up the other guy who took his place before, and sets things right, and then he leaves again, and then in the next game, it just repeats. Oh my god. Kiryu's planning to steal Suzumu's throne. Of course. Because Suzumu is Daigo.
What for?
The boy took a nervous look at the door before hurriedly continuing. Yeah, he is more of a Ryuji than a Kiryu. He's trying to expand SOS's influence, and he's got a lot of people on his side. Right now, the gang's kind of split into two factions. Susumu's guys and Kiryu's guys. Yep, this is exactly like Yakuza. Finally, Achi understood what was going on. The gang members had been acting so weird because they were all caught up in some kind of internal struggle. Exactly, Eblis. Yep. Daigo is adorable in Kiwami too. Seriously. Kiryu just goes around recruiting new followers by force. And if he doesn't like you, he dishes out punishment. This month alone, he sent 8 people to the hospital. SOS is a total mess, man. This plan of mine might not work after all. Achi felt a sinking sense of despair. If SOS was ravaged with infighting, it was doubtful that he heard the dangerous request he had for them. But even still, I want to be part of this gang, the boy muttered. Achi peered at him in surprise. Why? They shake you down for dues, stick you on guard duty. That's not a decent way to treat someone. Oh, hello, Erlen Myers. Welcome to the stream. I look up to Susumu. He treats me like he would anyone else, even though I'm way down at the bottom. No, Susumu is just misguided. He's just angry at Achi for leaving. He's Daigo, basically. And it's not just me. Susumu always puts the members of the gang before himself. That's why I want to stick with SOS. Aha! So that's it, huh? Susumu really had been trying his best. It's hello, Lyles. And the members of SOS, some of them, at least, admired him for it and stuck by him. Thanks, Achi said. The kid gave him a dubious look. Achi didn't know if Susumu would help him out or not, but he knew it was still worth putting their disagreements aside in order to ask. The door opened and the other lookout returned.
Susumu says to come on in.
Achi nodded and strode inside. Oh, for fuck's sake! Looks like I made the right choices after all. I guess maybe coming early would have been bad, I guess. Okay. Let's see. Look at how bare this is. Just 3 people. Okay, let's get back to Kano, because for some reason this jump was completely useless. Oh my god, G-Chan! That's amazing. The 428 prequel where everyone gets lit. 420. Anyway, back to the story. Tateno was standing in the doorway. You! Achi's face went red with rage. I fucking swear, if I'm allowed to jump now, I bet that's it, isn't it? It's gonna let me jump now. I bet that's what it's gonna do. Let's do it. I bet that's what's gonna happen. Oh no, I didn't mean to. I pressed F2 instead of tab. Okay, let's see. Fucking hell. This had. Seriously? 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 Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Again, this is why jumping is a fucking stupid mechanic. If you want me to switch people, just use a keep out. Oh god. Achi's protests were vehement, but he backed down at last. Toteno would escort Kanan and Maria to the lab. That left the three to try to apprehend Alphard. Kano, Stanley, and Achi. And we know what happened here. Okay, so are we just gonna re-go over what Achi said before? I think that was last stream. Lyles. That was last stream. When he popped up like 0, like on the monitors and shit. Having only 3 people was a dicey prospect, though. So Achi took it upon himself to head out and gather some backup. Okay, I see. Yeah, they just summarized. Okay, cool. Toteno got the car keys from Daisuke, then helped Kanan pick Maria up off the floor. Kano watched him warily. There was no trace of the blood-curdling expression the older detective had shown when he was holding Maria at gunpoint. His face was that of a man with a responsibility, the Toteno that Kano had always known. Are you sure you're okay doing this? Hitomi asked Toteno. You might get infected.
That doesn't matter. Don't worry about me. All I care about now is helping you two if I can.
He hesitated, glancing down at the unconscious girl he held.
By the way, have Maria's memories come back?
Hitomi tilted her head. Her memories?
I suspect she took a blow to the head when she was abducted. When I ran into her earlier, she didn't even know her own name.
Yeah, I was told to do the exact opposite, Lyles. Like, again, jumping is just... There was one that was so much bullshit last time. But I've spoken about that at length. Well, she seemed like the same sister I've always known when she came in here.
Good. Then her memory must have recovered.
Kano was shocked to hear that Maria had suffered amnesia. But it explained why she hadn't contacted anyone after she'd been set free.
All right then,
Toteno said.
We'll be back.
Carrying Maria, he and Kanan headed for the door. Let's see.
Detective Toteno?
I'm guessing that's Kano, yep.
Yeah, my voice can do a bunch of different things.
We already figured out who the final boss is, unless it's someone we're not expecting in Artanelico, Mistress Theater, but that is a shame. Kano called out, then paused, tongue-tied, when Toteno stopped.
Hi.
Yep, it was that one, Lyles. There were so many things Kano wanted to say, but he couldn't find the words for any of them.
Once Maria is safe, I'll turn myself in.
Teteno kept his back turned. The words were like a dagger in Kano's heart. Once this was all over, Teteno would no longer be a detective, but a criminal. Kano knew there was no alternative, but still the realization hit him hard.
Detective Teteno? Hi.
Stop your dithering.
But...
Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Ever.
Kano snapped back to attention at Teteno's words. That was Dick Dictum number 1, the advice that had kicked off the whole Dick diary.
I'm not the one you should be worrying about right now.
Teteno continued.
We need to save Maria Osawa's life and protect the people of Shibuya.
Kano bit his lip. Ooh, this is a tough one. Ooh, damn. Some of them don't even affect the story, I know, but... Oh, God. Damn. You know what? I want to see what he says here.
I know that, but...
Kano still wanted to express his regret at how things had turned out for his idol.
You really are a terrible policeman, you know?
Teteno gave him the bare hint of a smile and headed out of the room. And as Kano watched him go, oh, is he gonna have Kano end? He realized he didn't have anything to say. I agree, Lyles. Oh, never mind. That's just... There were only 30 minutes remaining until the time when Alfard had told him Hitomi should be at the Scramble. They need to get ready for action.
Is the surveillance camera system still up?
Kano asked.
Yes.
Daisuke replied.
It looks like what happened earlier was just a temporary hacking job.
Then will you help us?
Daisuke inclined his head.
What do you mean?
I'd like you to keep your eye on the Scramble for us. If anyone suspicious tries to get near Hitomi, let us know.
Anyone suspicious? How will I know what's suspicious?
Like that organ trafficker who suggested you kidnap Hitomi, Mr. Endo.
Oh my god. Damn, that's a sick burn.
It's possible that he might be Alfard. Would you be able to recognize his face?
Daisuke furrowed his brow deeply as he began entering commands on his keyboard.
Yeah, don't think I could ever forget. It's because of him that I...
He left the rest unsaid. A moment later, several of the monitors switched over to feeds from around the Scramble.
All right.
Daisuke squinted at the images.
I'm not sure how much help I can be, but at least let me try to atone for what I've done.
Of course. And thank you.
Yeah, that was really touching, Lyles. I loved, personally, when Osawa talked to his wife. I thought that was an incredible moment. Daisuke's fingers flew over the keyboard, and soon all the monitors were focused on the Scramble and its surroundings. Then he carefully adjusted the angle and zoom for each of the cameras. Now the whole area was under total surveillance. All they had to do was get their stakeout crew to the scene.
Where did Achi go?
Kano asked Hitomi. I'm not totally sure, but I think he went to find some of his old friends. Hitomi sounded worried.
Friends?
Achi used to belong to a gang called SOS. Actually, he told me he was the one who formed the gang in the first place.
What?
Kano couldn't keep the shock from his voice. Achi was the founder of SOS? How bizarre that the two of them would wind up meeting each other this way. But I guess there was a big falling out between them. So I think he went to try and win them back over. Kano hadn't heard anything good about SOS since Achi had left them. If things had ended on bad terms between him and the gang, getting them to help might well be a lost cause. And even if Achi was able to gather some people up, how much would Kano and the others be able to trust them? It'll be all right, Hitomi said, as if sensing Kano's thoughts. I'm sure Achi will bring back some of his old friends. And when he does bring them, I'm sure he'll choose people we can count on.
You really trust him, don't you?
Yes, Hitomi said without hesitation. Then a blush came to her cheeks. Oh, yeah, she likes him too. Oh my god. Yay! Oh my god, they're so cute. Ah, they're so cute.
All right, then I'll trust him too.
It would take about 10 minutes to get from Endo Electronics to the Scramble. Kano turned to Stanley. Exactly, Ji-chan. He really means you really love him, don't you? That's clearly what he meant to say. Kano turned to Stanley.
Let's plan to head out by 6:50.
Stanley gave no reply. He had withdrawn to the edge of the room where he stood lost in thought, his expression uneasy. Kano decided to leave him alone for a bit. Taking a sheet of paper from one of the desks, he began drafting a plan for positioning Achi's reinforcements around the Scramble. Damn. I don't know if they'll be able to follow such a precise plan, but okay.
All right, there we go.
In about 5 minutes, he had drawn up a little map of the optimal place to deploy the team. It included positions for as many as 20 people Achi might bring back. Definitely, Ji-chan, that's 158 trillion% true.
Kano!
Kano turned around, surprised to find Stanley right behind him all of a sudden. The American looked haggard.
Is something the matter?
Kano asked.
You need to go to the Scramble without me.
Really? Oh god, Kano all on his own. I would have no idea who it is. My money is still on Sasayama. Sasayama seems like the only one now it could possibly be.
What? Where's this coming from all of a sudden?
Please, don't ask me to explain. Something else has come up and I have to see to it.
Sweat beaded on Stanley's brow. That would be epic, especially if Kano is the one going. I think that Sasayama being like Alphard would be an amazing confrontation. Like, especially since he was right there the whole time and like he was like kind of his buddy in the beginning, which Stanley has taken that role, believe it or not. Whatever had happened, Kano had no doubt it was something major. And almost certainly it had something to do with Alphard. Yeah, that too, Ji-chan, but yeah, it seems like he really did die.
Stanley?
Kano said. Let's see. I want to know.
Please tell me. We're past the point of keeping secrets.
They'd come this far together. Surely it was too late to get all tight-lipped now.
I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you more.
Stanley dropped his eyes. Oh, damn. Kano had a vague idea what Stanley was up to. He probably felt he needed to keep things hidden from even his own allies in order to help keep Alphard in the dark. Or at least that was Kano's guess.
All right. I understand.
Kano said with resignation.
Do what you have to and come back soon.
Oh, they're real friends now. This is amazing. With an apologetic look on his face, Stanley turned around and hurried from the workroom. That would be insanely twisted if it was Bobobo. Oh my god. Kano glanced at his watch. It was coming up on 6:50. Pretty soon they'd have to head for the Scramble. But Achi still hadn't returned.
We need to head out soon.
He said to Tomi, uh-oh. I hope Achi's okay. You said 6:50, she replied. There's still 2 more minutes to go. She has faith in Achi. Kano let out a tiny sigh. He shared Tomi's fervent hope that the reinforcements would come, but not her confidence. Well, he barely knows Achi. If Achi didn't reappear, Kano would be left to protect Tomi all by himself, and to try to apprehend Alphard as well. Would he be able to pull it off if it came to that? I think it's just to head to the Scramble. He just have to trust himself to see things through on his own. He decided to head to the Scramble with Tomi right away. This wasn't about whether he could or couldn't. He would do it. He had to do it. There was no time for doubt anymore. Achi probably got the same idea, and he would say like, it's too late, to head back to base. We have to go right to the Scramble. So that's probably that's my logic here.
Hitomi, I don't like having to do this, but we can't wait any longer.
Seeing the look of determination on Kano's face, she gave a tiny reluctant nod. Yes, Eblis. We haven't started Minorikawa yet. Oh, damn, another keep out. All right, we have no choice but to get back to Minorikawa. I will be right back. I just have to take a quick bathroom break. I will be right back. Y'all saying Minorikawa has a mini game if you pick an obviously wrong choice? Alright, well, we'll see what happens. It'll take a while to do and would kill the momentum? Okay. So I'll just keep going. Okay. Oh yeah, Chiaki fell down the fucking stairs. Ah, jeez.
Hang in there, Chiaki. Just keep it together.
Minorikawa rushed to her side and offered her hand. Surely it hardly... Oh. Oh, yeah, this guy. God damn it, I forgot what voice I gave him because he's brand new. I think I gave him like an evil-sounding voice.
Surely it hardly matters at this point. You're not going to make it on time regardless.
Katayama said coldly. Yep, yeah, this guy, okay.
And in any case, if 4-star general gossip doesn't get released, it's Mr. Toyama who's going to be in trouble, not you. I dare say the world would be better off with one third-rate gossip rag less anyway.
Oh my god, Minorikawa, you better punch his lights out. Shut your mouth! Chiaki snapped. Ooh, her glasses broke. If the gossip doesn't come out, I am gonna be in trouble. An article I've written is supposed to be in next month's issue. It's a piece I've worked on my very hardest to the very end. Damn, it's like kind of like a male version of the Beatrice voice. if you're saying that, jeez. Piece Mr. Mino saw it fit to put into print. And so if it goes away, if all that goes away, hey, I'll be in trouble, alright? Ouch. Chiaki's legs wobbled as she struggled to get back to her feet.
Chiaki,
Katayama said.
your zeal is a marvelous thing. Worthy of admiration, even.
He talks like a villain.
But when it comes to work, results are all that matters. I'm sad to have to put it that way, but I must be honest. It's just common decency.
Katayama glanced at his pocket watch.
You have 57 minutes and 10 seconds remaining.
Exactly, Lyles. He totally reminded me of Strongheart or Vortex or whatever his name is from DGS. Exactly. Yeah, those two crossed pretty much. While I see Kano is basically halfway between Edgeworth and Gumshoe.
At this rate, you won't even make it to the interview venue before your time's up. Frankly.
Another typo! You know what? I'm just gonna say it like this. I am just gonna say it like this.
Frankie from One Piece. I don't think that even a further extension of your deadline would make any difference in the end.
Damn it!
Minorikawa ground his teeth. He wondered if he should just leave Chiaki here and go to interview SOS by himself. Oh my god, he's gonna meet Achi there. That's how he's gonna get involved. He could expand the article on SOS. Then work a small part of Chiaki's interview piece in to at least fill the layout. Right now, the single most important thing was getting the magazine out the door, for Toyama's sake. But if he did cut most of Chiaki's copy after all she'd done, he might wind up totally killing her passion for being a writer.
Ah! Whose justice is most just? I have to stop waffling. Professionals don't let their personal feelings dictate their decisions. I can help Chiaki work through emotional struggles later. Chiaki, That's enough.
The young woman got to her feet, staggering as she began to climb the stairs. I'm not giving up, she said under her breath. I can't give up now! Though obviously in pain, she struggled to keep her legs moving.
Damn, I can't do it. Look at how hard she's fighting to stay in the game. I can't tell her I don't need her article now.
Releasing the next issue of the Gossip wasn't just going to save Toyama. It would save Chiaki as well. Minorikawa couldn't abandon either one of them. Which left him with a hell of a dilemma. He needed to make a decision. If he didn't stop wavering soon, they'd be out of time. But try as he might, he couldn't come up with a plan. Then he heard a familiar voice from behind him. I'm guessing... Oh, it's a taxi driver! Secret protagonist. And I forgot. I think I gave him the old one of the old voices.
If you're wondering what path to take, allow my taxi to be your guide.
Minorikawa spun around to see Kimazuka standing there.
Where to, sir?
The driver asked. Despite his polite demeanor, his pride was obvious.
Mr. Kimazuka, I appreciate the thought, but with this traffic... Traffic? I see nothing of the sort. Okay, sure, but...
Oh my god! Minorikawa was well aware of Kimazuka's capabilities, but the prospect of cutting through the chaos that currently filled the streets was more than a little daunting.
When you know this town as well as I do, there's nowhere you can't go. Alright! What other choice do I have? Guess I've gotta trust you. This will be my last request of the day.
Minorikawa pointed down the street. God damn it, I forgot! I think it was called Inferno. Oh my god. And there's another missed spacing right there, as you were talking about, Lyles. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it was Inferno. I'm probably wrong, but yeah.
Take us to Inferno in Uraharajuku. Inferno in Uraharajuku? The bar?
Kimazuka quirked an eyebrow.
Yes! Is something the matter? No, nothing at all. Hurry up and get in.
As soon as Minorikawa and the others had climbed into the cab, Kimazuka tore off through Shibuya's network of narrow side streets. The passengers in the back seat jostled roughly back and forth, the sound of screeching tires.
This is altogether far too excessive.
Katayama murmured, wincing as his head bounced repeatedly against the window.
To think we allow such inconsiderate driving here in this country.
The special scene would come if I picked Labyrinth. Okay. Thanks, Evelyn. I'll keep that in mind for later. Chiaki, meanwhile, had opened her laptop and was somehow working furiously to finish her copy. While the car's moving? How could she type when the car is doing this? The sound of her fingers clicking across the keys echoed within the vehicle.
How's it going, Chiaki?
Minorikawa asked. Just a little more. Her eyes were glued to her monitor, her face all serious. Kimazuka glared over at Minorikawa.
If I may ask, sir, what business do you have at this bar?
Just a little interview. I hear a local gang called SOS uses this place as their big hangout.
You're interviewing SOS? Sir, I feel that might be best not to get too involved with that lot.
Oh, wow, I was right to give him a British accent. There was something about the driver's warning that seemed a little off.
Do your taxi driver connections tell you what SOS is up to?
Minorikawa asked.
Originally, there was something of a vigilante corps in the name of keeping the neighborhood clean and safe. But lately, I hear nothing but bad things about them.
Those loan sharks had said something very similar. Minorikawa reminded himself that he better be on his guard. Oh my god, Evelyn. No, I ain't gonna do that. Kadayama chimed in.
And just how do you want to go about interviewing a gang like this?
That's nothing for you to worry about. I have a plan.
Oh, that's him.
Oh, and just what exactly is this plan?
It's a secret.
You mean you haven't thought of it yet?
Exactly.
Kadayama gave him a derisive grin. Clearly, he wasn't impressed. Minorikawa turned to look at Chiaki. She appeared too engrossed in her copy to even hear the conversation. Dame dane, dame yo, dame da da do. Okay.
I realize this is for work,
Kimazuka said worriedly.
but you really need to take such risks.
I cannot sing that well. Ablas. Jeez.
Yes, I do. 'Cause I'm the ultimate reporter. Minorikawa.
Minorikawa thought back to that look on Toyama's face. That look when he finally recognized his confidence. He couldn't let Heaven Publishing go under. Toyama provided the canvas on which Minorikawa shared his art with the world. Thinking about it now, Minorikawa realized he'd always been chasing Toyama's shadow. Though it was galling to admit, that man had been the ideal Minorikawa strove to live up to. That was why he'd hated seeing Toyama reduced to such a pathetic state. He wanted Toyama to remain indomitable, to keep busting down any and all obstacles in his own particular way. Still, Minorikawa wasn't about to voice these feelings aloud. He felt more than a little embarrassed to be taking it all so personally.
When you take on a job, you give it 100% every goddamn time. That's what makes you a professional. Ha ha!
He said.
Wouldn't you agree?
I do indeed,
Kadayama chimed in.
but you'll have to demonstrate that 100% in the limited time you have left.
Oh, a favorite side character is Tama's boss, for sure. I keep forgetting his name. But the Bobobo guy, he's my favorite side character, definitely. Unless you count like Kanan as a side character, in which I really like her a lot.
In the limited time you have left, which, by the way, is 51 minutes and 30 seconds. And I will not budge in the slightest on that submission deadline. Please do keep that in mind.
The man took another look at his watch.
I've got to have a mind to break that thing.
Minorikawa told him.
Breaking my watch will not stop time.
Minorikawa shot him a furious glare, but Kanayama's composure was unwavering. The guy was unflappable, and the only way Minorikawa was going to be able to put him in his place was to meet his goddamn deadline. Easier said than done, though. He only used 30 of the 51 minutes he had to write his article. That only left him 20 or so to get the material. Kibizuka suddenly slammed on the brakes, and the cab skidded to a halt. Minorikawa stared through the windshield in shock and saw a smallish, boxy minivan weaving erratically along the road.
Whoa! Look out! That thing's heading our way. Don't worry, sir.
The driver replied,
Just leave this to me.
keeping his cool. Kibizuka dexterously steered them clear of the oncoming vehicle. As the minivan sped past, an eerily cold breeze wafted over the taxi. The vehicle is being driven by members of the Wandering Angels Theater Troupe. I thought they were going to do a lot more than they did. Oh yeah, the fucking dry ice machine. Oh my god, I bet if Kano had chosen to stay instead of go straight to the thing, he would have run into them as a bad ending. Oh yeah, Stanley's great too, for sure. They're on the way to return the dry ice machine they used in their performance to Endo Electronics. The machine is malfunctioning, continually spitting out white plumes of carbon dioxide. The troupe members inside the van are beginning to suffer from oxygen deprivation and are driving around Shibuya in a daze. Will they be able to make it to Endo Electronics in the end? Same, Lyles. Exactly the same we all thought here.
What the heck was that?
Minorikawa asked.
I'm not sure.
Kimazuka said.
But let's hurry on our way.
Nimbly manipulating the gear stick, he stomped on the gas once more.
Here we are, sir.
Oh my god, he's gonna run into Achi. They pulled up outside of a dilapidated old pool hall.
You're a lifesaver.
Minorikawa clapped a hand on Kimazuka's shoulder.
Just be sure to be careful, sir.
Minorikawa nodded. Huh? What? Chiaki asked, looking up. What are we being careful about? Oh god, oh god.
Nothing.
Minorikawa said.
You just wait here in the car. You've still got that copy to finish up. Yeah?
Well, yes. All right then. Chiaki frowned but resumed her typing.
And you wait here too.
Minorikawa said to Katayama.
But of course, that goes without saying. Incidentally, you have 49 minutes and 6 seconds remaining.
Minorikawa did some quick mental math. With the half hour he'd already set aside, that left him 19 minutes. However dangerous SOS might be, he couldn't afford to hesitate for even a single second. Yeah, NCIS is its own thing. Completely separate. Bracing himself, he stepped out of the taxi and headed for the pool hall. He's gonna merge with Achi here.
Yeah. You.
Minorikawa took a deep breath as he approached the grimy door.
Here goes.
He drew his leg back and gave the door a hearty kick.
Ha!
Ooh. The mob of young men inside the bar turned as one at the sound of the door crashing open.
Who the hell are you?
Several of them started towards him belligerently.
Just calm down and hear me out.
He said.
I've come to interview you. Interview us? What the hell for?
These were hot-headed pugs, all right. They seemed to be itching for a confrontation. Minorikawa felt like a punch might come flying his way at any moment. Then another voice called out from further back.
Hold up, guys.
Oh, no, it's him.
Hold up, guys.
It was a young man seated in the far back corner of the bar. His air of authority marked him as the gang's leader.
That must be Susumu then.
Minorikawa thought.
When you say interview, do you mean for TV? Or like a magazine? Mind telling us who you are?
The name's Minorikawa. Minoru Minorikawa. I'm a freelance journalist. I'm doing a magazine piece about young people in Shibuya. All I'm asking is just for you guys to answer a few questions. Ha ha!
Here's the answer to the science quiz from last time. Nothing. Yay, I got it right. I would have had to turn off my get my science badge out if I didn't answer that one right. Methane has been tapped as a potential new energy source to replace fossil fuels or atomic power. But there are concerns about its tendency to exacerbate the global warming process. It's extremely flammable. The methane produced by food waste has been known to cause garbage trucks to catch fire.
Huh?
Susumu sounded less enthused.
Just 5 minutes.
Minorikawa said.
What do you say?
Nah, I'm not in the best of moods right now. Go on, get out of here.
Right.
Minorikawa thought.
He's gonna make things difficult. Ha ha!
But he hadn't expected these troublemakers to just up and accept an offer to appear in print. Now was when the real battle would begin.
Guess I'll just have to write my piece without your help then.
Susumu took the bait and shot him a look.
Right about what exactly?
Your little warehouse raids.
Warehouse raids?
Susumu raised an eyebrow.
What are you talking about?
Really now? You're gonna tell me you don't know your boys are dealing in stolen goods?
SOS doesn't steal, man. You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh yeah? Why don't you ask those two over there?
He spotted the two fellows he'd seen arguing earlier at the scene of the explosion. Now he pointed them out. Their faces betrayed their alarm. Susumu glared at them.
Is this true?
They averted their eyes and said nothing.
I asked you the question. Have you been stealing stuff?
After a long moment of surly hesitation, both young men nodded.
You idiots!
Susumu marched up to the two and without warning decked them both.
How dare you sully the SOS name?
As the two gang members cowered, he continued to punch them repeatedly.
Okay, enough with the beatdown.
Minorikawa stepped up to intervene.
Let's get down to business here. I won't reveal anything about the warehouse raids. In exchange, you give me my interview. How's that? Not a bad deal, I'd say.
But Susumu ignored him, continuing his pummeling of the pair.
Whoa, hey! Nobody's gonna play nice with a guy who flies off the handle and beats on people, you know?
What you just say?
Well, look at yourself. You're clearly not the cream of the crop here, kid.
At that, Susumu's fists finally fell still. The rowdy bar went completely silent.
Say that one more time. I dare you. I'll put your ass in the ground.
The gang leader's eyes were red with rage. Minorikawa snorted, unafraid.
Ha! That's the exact sort of line I'd expect from my turtle voice, who's all bark and no bite. Shut your damn mouth! Get the hell out of here! Oh, this is hilarious. SOS's top dog is such a yappy little puppy.
Susumu snarled like an animal.
You son of a bitch! I am gonna beat your ass!
Mr. Mino, I'm all finished! Oh, God. And a buoyant voice resounded suddenly throughout the bar. Cheerful and full of energy. Originally, the term indicated a state of bubbling or boiling, so it's effectively a fancy way of describing someone as bubbly. Oh, boy.
Chiaki?
Minorikawa looked and saw that both she and Katayama had appeared in the doorway. I finished my coffee. Could you please look it over for me? She thrust out her laptop proudly. Susumu stared in bewilderment.
Who the hell are you?
I was under the impression you SOS folks were, being interviewed. Chiaki broke off, haltingly.
Yeah, you're right about that.
One by one, gang members started to close in around her. Well, it's just... you look like you're really angry. It's all.
Oh, do we now? That's because we are pretty damn angry.
Good grief.
Katayama groaned.
It would seem that getting your interview is quite impossible. By the way, you only have another.
You shut up!
Minorikawa snapped as Katayama peered at his watch.
Just leave this to me. You two hurry up and get out of here.
No way! Chiaki said.
What? Why not?
Because I want you to read my copy, Mr. Mino. She looked him right in the eye. Oh my god. Let's see. Damn, this is a tough choice. All of these look like they could potentially work. You know, but I think it's better to stay, because if we stay, that means we'll be here when Achi's here. So he didn't have much of a choice. He postponed the interview to read over Chiaki's copy.
All right,
He said.
let me see your laptop.
He held out his hand and started to make his way over to her. Making his way over to her.
Whoa!
Before he could reach her, though, the SOS punks had Chiaki and Katayama surrounded.
Oh, what's this? Something important?
One of the gang members reached out to grab Chiaki's computer. Knock it off. Don't touch that! She struggled to resist.
Leave the girl alone, you scumbags.
Minorikawa barked. The young men in the bar stopped and turned. Susumu was quick to respond.
Screw you, man. Who you calling scumbags here? Any guy who raises a hand to a lady is a scumbag. If you're looking for a fight, you can fight me. Just get your hands off the girl.
Minorikawa did his best to look unafraid, as a couple dozen vicious gazes now turned back on him.
Bring it on.
Susumu said.
Hey, someone go stand lookout out front.
Perfect. Okay, here we go. Achi is gonna meet up here. He snapped his fingers sharply.
Get him.
At the signal, Susumu's men quickly closed in on Minorikawa. It was like being caught up in a tsunami. He took a hard punch to the face, and then his vision went blurry. Before he could react, it was hit again twice, thrice with punches and kicks. Oh no. I must have made the wrong choice. Damn. The moment his first assault paused, another joined the assailant. Four blows, 5 blows, 6. Minorikawa lost count somewhere around 30. A metallic taste filled his mouth, and I could feel his consciousness fading, all the strength being battered from his body. He couldn't even tell he was standing on his feet or lying on his back. Then finally he felt himself crumple to the floor. Even then, the beating did not let up. As he writhed helplessly, the young men kicked him in the gut over and over. Stop it! He heard Chiaki shriek. You're gonna kill him! Bad end. Eventually, Minorikawa forced himself to go limp. Finally, the kicking stopped.
Ah, crap.
One of the thugs muttered, sounding panicky.
Did we take this a bit too far?
Mr. Vino! Chiaki rushed over to Minorikawa's side, sobbing. Please! She cried out. Answer me! He held his breath and said nothing. Mr. Vino! Tears streaked down her cheeks. She shook him desperately.
Don't worry.
He gasped out at last, holding up a hand to stave her off. She let out a yelp of surprise, staring at his battered face. He could feel blood trickling from the corner of his mouth. He turned his grisly visage on the gang members as he painfully rose to his feet. Wow. I thought for sure this was a bad ending.
I am immortal.
Apparently, Minorikawa broke into peals of mocking laughter. Same, Lyles. Mr. Mino? Chiaki stared at him aghast. He only laughed. He laughed the harder. Damn. There are so many fucking typos. It's ridiculous. Who's talking here? It seems he took a few too many blows to the head. The poor thing. Oh, that was Katayama.
It seems he took a few too many blows to the head. The poor thing.
Katayama averted his eyes, unable to watch. Minorikawa shot out an accusing finger at the crowd.
Looks like I win this round. What?
Susumu blinked, dumbstruck.
Don't you get it?
Minorikawa said thickly around his bruised tongue.
What am I saying? You're a bunch of idiots. Now then, if you'll pardon me.
Oh, I get it.
Minorikawa was halfway to the exit when Katayama's exclamation ran out.
You were planning all along to let these guys beat you up. How?
Minorikawa jerked to a halt, his shoulders trembling.
You knew they'd turn down the interview. And so by letting yourself get beat up, you'd have something to put in an article, yes? It's a bit bogus, maybe. But I guess it's one way to get material to fill your pages.
Minorikawa broke out into a cold sweat. Damn.
Shut up, you idiot!
But Katayama continued with his oh-so-brilliant analysis.
You sure pulled a fast one on this gang here. I wonder what sort of headline your piece should have. The twilight of Shibuya's legendary street crew. Former vigilante squad, now mere gang of common thugs. Something like that, maybe.
Suzumu stared daggers at Minorikawa.
Go on. I dare you to write that up. Then we really will put your ass in the ground.
He moved to block the path to the door. Clutching a broken beer bottle in one hand,
You moron!
Minorikawa bellowed at Katayama.
I was this close to pulling it off!
Damn, ooh, this guy's a bit sinister, isn't he?
Ah, well, that's a shame, isn't it?
Katayama replied. Minorikawa rolled his eyes.
Gee, you think?
A bit of Drake and Josh there. Suzumu slowly advanced on them, beer bottle at the ready.
Incidentally,
Katayama said.
you have 40 minutes and 7 seconds left. Good luck.
Minorikawa hung his head. Was everything futile at this point? I wonder why they picked this to define, of all things. Hopeless, pointless, ineffectual. Not to be confused with feudal, which refers to the socio-political system in the Middle Ages involving lords and vassals and fiefdoms. Oh my. Here we go. I think Achi is finally here.
Alright, cool your jets. I'd say that's quite enough.
Oh, no, it's him. It's the taxi driver.
Alright, cool your jets. I'd say that's quite enough.
Suzumu stopped and spun around. Kimazuka had entered the bar. The taxi driver stared out sternly from behind his sunglasses. The taxi driver stared out sternly from behind his sunglasses. All the young men in the bar fell silent. Minorikawa and his companions exchanged glances.
Oh man, you!
Suzumu's face twisted up in an awkward embarrassment. Kimazuka's tone was light and playful, but intimidating nevertheless.
Whoa, wait, no. That's no way to dress.
Oh.
Whoa, hey now. That's no way to address your teacher.
Teacher?
Teacher?
Minorikawa blurted in disbelief. Kimizuka nodded.
Yes, until last year I used to be a teacher. But I got into a bit of dispute with my school, so I moved on. These guys in here are all former students of mine. Sorry that there's such a bunch of good-for-nothings.
Wow, Chiyoki said. I'd never have guessed.
I thought since I wasn't their teacher anymore, it wasn't my place to butt in. I couldn't sit idly by and let one of my customers take a beating.
Kimizuka turned back to Susumu.
This guy totally played you.
Oh, it's him sucking.
This guy totally played you. Every last one of you.
Susumu bit his lip in frustration.
Still, it's hard to imagine anyone would want to take a beating from this many guys all at once. So it's hardly your fault for falling for it.
Kimizuka switched gears from taxi driver to street smart mentor.
You guys lost this one,
He said.
and for that you need to give him his interview.
No way.
Susumu looked disgusted.
Look here, kid.
Kimizuka said.
Let yourself save some face and help the man out. And maybe he won't come off as a bunch of total idiots in his article.
He flashed an amicable grin.
Well, when you put it that way, fine, alright.
Susumu blew out his breath in resignation.
So, Sumo, you can't just let yourself cave like that.
The remark had come from a particularly nasty-looking young fellow who slouched on the bar sofa. Oh, it's Kiryu.
Susumu, you can't just let yourself cave like that.
Minorikawa recognized him. The kid he'd encountered earlier that afternoon wandering around with a wooden cudgel.
You shut up, Kiryu.
Susumu said.
So what? You're just gonna let SOS make a mockery of itself.
Kiryu announced. The gang leader let out an annoyed growl but said nothing.
And you still think you've got what it takes to run Shibuya?
Shut up. I've already said I'll do it.
Oh, that's Kiryu.
Shut up. I've already said I'll do it.
Kiryu sneered suddenly at Suzumu's outburst. Mr. Mino! Minorikawa was just letting out a sigh of relief, being able to get his interview, and Chiaki scurried back up to him. Please, can you read my copy now? Her face showed a strange mixture of confidence and unease.
All right,
He said resignedly.
let me see it.
The The proofing deadline was drawing steadily nearer. Still, if the piece wasn't good enough, he had to make sure rewrite it again. He wasn't going to compromise on quality. Bracing himself, Minorikawa stared at the monitor. Chiaki swallowed hard, so anxious that it was audible. Minorikawa gave the piece a fast once over, then read it again more closely. When he was done, he closed his eyes, considering. Chiaki held her breath, waiting for his response. It's okay. She looked back at him blankly for a long moment.
Really?
It's really okay.
Is it really, really okay?
It really is really okay. Minorikawa watched in surprise as she broke down in tears. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my god. Chiaki bowed profusely. He gave her an affectionate little ruffle atop her head. She wiped her face with her palms, scrubbing the tears away. Oh my god. Oh, that's her saying that. I got the voices mixed up. God damn it. Oh, just for that. Okay. So I guess I never really told you what sort of articles I want to write after all.
No, I don't think you have.
Oh, well, I mean, I want to write socially conscious exposés, like you do, Mr. Mino. And so to hear you say that an article I wrote is okay, that makes me really, happy, I guess. Or maybe moved. Her eyes were still bright with emotion.
Well then, really?
There was actually another writer who took inspiration from his work, and who strove to be like him. Minorikawa had never thought a day like this would come. It was a peculiar feeling. He'd always been the follower, chasing after interviews in order to be more like Toyama. It made him feel both bashful and proud that the skill and soul he'd honed might be passed on to the next generation.
Right, I should be off.
Oh, that's him saying that.
Right, I should be off.
Kimazuka gave Minorikawa a slight nod. Minorikawa returned the gesture, but more deeply.
You really have been a tremendous help today. I'm not sure where I'd even be right now if you hadn't been there for me. Oh, no, not at all. I was just driving a customer around to where he asked me to go. Oh, that's right. I still owe you a fare.
Opening his wallet, Minorikawa saw he had only a 10,000 yen bill. Still, now was no time to be frugal.
Keep the change.
He says he handed it over. Wow. But even as he said it, Kimazuka was already handing him some money back. In spades. But even as he said it, Kimazuka was already handing him some money back.
Here, I insist.
driver had already counted out the exact change in advance. Wow.
You really are a pro, huh?
Minorikawa took the money and stuffed it into his pocket.
We'll meet again. Somewhere out there on the streets of Shibuya.
Kimazuka pointed his index finger at Minorikawa's face. Minorikawa responded in kind. After that, the interview with SOS went off without a hitch. Now that the tension was diffused, these were just a bunch of ordinary young guys. The juxtaposition of their appearance and their behavior would make for an interesting piece.
So, about what you said earlier.
Suzumu said once Minorikawa had finished his questioning.
About how I'm not the cream of the crop. Ah, yeah, that. I decided to get you worked up. Don't worry about it.
Well, let me just ask you what you really think then. How do you think I could be a better leader?
I don't know. I'm not really the sort of guy who wants to stand at the top, you know? But I guess I can tell you two things that'll make things go more smoothly with you and your buddies.
Susumu leaned in, listening intently.
Forgiveness. And also trust.
Minorikawa chewed over his own words. The events of the day replayed back in his mind. He'd forgiven Toyama for his fake suicide, and trusted that he'd regain his reporter's edge. He'd forgiven Chiaki for her bungled interviews, and trusted that she'd grow as a journalist. In the end, that's what it was that had helped him, though. Forgiveness followed by trust. Susumu grumbled softly.
Forgiveness and trust, huh? Doesn't sound so easy.
People gravitate towards somebody who can handle things when they get tough.
With that, Minorikawa got to his feet.
Now we've got all the articles we need covered.
Da 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 da. Chiaki rushed over to his side. Well, I guess we still need Mr. Toyama's piece.
I just got off the phone with my office.
Katayama said casually.
It seems they've already received the data from him.
Wow, he ain't lost his touch.
Whoa, what? Guess I really can get the job done when he applies himself.
Minorikawa felt an inner surge of pride.
Now then,
He indicated Katayama.
how much time do we have left?
Oh my god, he's the last one who needs to write an article.
30 minutes remaining.
Exactly as he wanted. Katayama replied, eyeing his watch.
30 minutes, huh? Looks like we might make it after all. Chiaki, laptop.
Right! With a beaming grin, Chiaki held out her computer. Minorikawa got ready to start typing, but then a young man barged into the bar. Yep. It's Achi Endo. Okay, you know what? Before I do that, I'm gonna see if I can get a keep out or something with Minorikawa. I want to see what happens, because I bet it's gonna do that. I just bet. The newcomer hurried over to where Susumu was sitting and promptly prostrated himself on the floor. Whatever this was about, it looked like a big deal. Who was this kid? The gang's feelings looked decidedly mixed.
I need people to bring a guy down. I'm here to ask for your help. I know I have no right to ask you this. But please, I really need your help.
As Minorikawa listened to the young man's conversation with Susumu, he could feel his blood start pumping. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, Void Dweller. Have a good time at work. It sounded like they were talking about the terrorist plot in which Shibuya had become embroiled.
Hey, Chiaki,
He said quietly.
did you hear that just now?
I did. I'm not sure I followed all of it, but it definitely has the whip of a major scoop. Minorikawa shot her a daring grin.
So, what's the play here, Chiaki?
We interview him, of course. Damn, I'm kind of starting to ship these two. But we only have 30 minutes left, right?
So we take 10 minutes for our conversation and use the remaining 20 to write up the piece. I'll help you out.
Oh. Oh, god damn it. I swapped them. We interview him, of course.
But we only have 30 minutes left, right?
So we take 10 minutes for our conversation and use the remaining 20 to write up the piece. I'll help you out.
You learned good, kiddo.
Minorikawa ruffled Chiaki's hair again. They both blushed profusely, gripped by a surge of excitement. Oh my god!
Why are you doing this? I can't make any sense of it whatsoever.
I have not gotten any bad ends yet. Lyles. Katayama stood peering at them skeptically.
If you write up the piece you just did your interview for, you would make your deadline. Why go out of your way to trouble yourself further?
It's no trouble.
Minorikawa said.
I'm just doing what a professional does. That's all.
Katayama let out a solemn sigh.
Oh, good grief.
Are we gonna get to Minorikawa end? I think we might. He looked at his pocket watch, then snapped it shut.
Well, if you aren't going to concerned about the time, then do as you like, I suppose.
True, Eblis. Yeah, I guess that makes more sense.
I'll admit you've made me quite curious to read this magazine you're putting together.
Minorikawa and Chiaki rolled their eyes as they turned away. Already they were making their way over to Susumu and his gang.
The interviews aren't over until you have what you need. You refuse to let them be over. You spend every last second you have to do the best job you can. That's what being a professional journalist is all about.
Oh my god. Yeah, you put away a stopwatch. Wow. Minorikawa cracked his knuckles and stepped between the two young men.
Ha ha! Sounds like you've got an interesting story. Mind letting me hear it too?
I think we've got Minorikawa end. I would not be. Yep. Wow. Well, okay, this is the perfect place to end today's stream. End of his story. And. What do you mean and? Okay. Now, we return to how we started. Kano and Achi. Just the two of them. Wow. Oh my god. Okay, you guys, next time. Oh my god, this was amazing. Next time, we see Achi's side of this with Minorikawa. Yep. Exactly, Lyles. Oh my god, I can't wait. So that will be on Friday. And Thursday is some more Artanelica, which is very close to ending. I think I assume like maybe 3 streams left of Artanelica. And that'll be done. So which is on that's Thursday. And more 428 on Friday. So until then, I will say so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night. You are all the sweetest of hearts. See ya.